Hello, wonderful. Welcome to the inside secrets that high achieving women use to stop smart girl syndrome, reconnect with what's right with them, and become toxic person proof after experiencing a toxic partner or parent or friend or coworker. Toxic people can unfortunately come in many, many forms. And the best part is how these women do this without wasting years talking about their problems rather than solving their problems. Sounds great, right? So, who this is for? This is for you. If you've experienced success in other areas of your life, but you feel as if the area of relationships has somehow been a black hole of failure. You've had a toxic partner or parent or both and still have that nagging voice in your head reminding you that no matter what you achieve, no matter what you accomplish, no matter how many people you serve, help, change, you aren't good enough. This is for you if you've spent countless hours thinking about the toxic person problem, countless hours researching toxic personalities, and countless hours trying to talk it out in therapy or with a friend, but you still don't have the love and life you want. This is for you. And there's an old song from the musical Rent, and it goes 525,600 minutes. Okay, and it's about how many minutes we have in a year. And as a high achiever, you are wanting to maximize every single one of those minutes. You're probably multitasking. You're probably doing a million things in your life. And if you live until you're 80, you have over 42 million minutes. Okay, so this year you have 525,600 minutes. If you live until you're 80, you have over 42 million minutes. And so I'm asking you today to commit 25 minutes to solve one of the biggest problems of your life. Probably the biggest problem of your life. Okay? So if out of all the craziness and all the multitasking and all the to-do lists, this year you have 525,600 minutes, I'm asking you for 25 of those, okay? So if you can commit 25 minutes to solving one of the largest problems of your life, say, yes, Sarah, I will commit 25 minutes, but you're not committing it to me, right? You're committing those 25 minutes to you. So even better, say, yes, Janet, I commit to you 25 minutes. Yes, Sally. Yes, Jocelyn. Yes, whoever. I commit 25 minutes to you and to your future. Did you commit to yourself? Perfect. Then I'll stay on time. And 25 minutes is totally worth it to learn how to turn your brain into your own personal superpower by tapping into strength-based healing. Strength-based healing. I'll explain that more a little bit. You got to overcome smart girl syndrome, which I'll also explain, so you can get your thoughts to work for you rather than working for them, whoever that toxic person is. This 25 minutes is worth it to start solving problems that have solutions rather than banging your head against the brick wall of obsessing over toxic people. Oh, yes, that obsession over toxic people. No good, no good. And 25 minutes is totally worth learning to become toxic person proof so you never, never, never have to go through it again. Okay? So I want to ask you a lovely, lovely, lovely question, okay? What do you want? To know this isn't just about storybook endings with male and female relationships or whatever, but why not? Like, why not start with that, right? Because that is what some of you want. And I want you to think, what do I want? Shanna really wanted her happy ending, right? She was one of my clients who, she said, oh my gosh, he treats me so well. He makes me feel special. And she says, you taught me so well. She even hired a private eye, which I didn't tell her she had to do that. But she knew She needed new tools to not end up into another toxic relationship, right? It's been so nice and easy. I want to point out the word easy. Can you imagine what it's like for her to have found an easy relationship? Okay. So maybe that's what you want. Maybe you're wanting a new career, a recruiting opportunity, more money. Maybe like Aaron. Maybe you were like Lena and your ex called and you want to know how to block him and not get sucked back in. Maybe that's where you're at. Okay. She said it would never have happened without your help. She went to another counselor a few times, talked and talked and talked and talked and talked about her problems, right? She got nothing out of the sessions. She's talking about this program, which I'm not going to talk about, but I do run a Wondrous Woman program, and that's what she went through. This program is designed for her and countless other women dealing with toxic relationships, right? And this is Nikki. I've obviously blocked out all their information, but she said she is, that I'm the reason what I'm about to teach you guys right now, not me, but the good stuff I'm about to teach you is the reason she was able to turn her life into a happy ending. So what do you want? Do you want the guy? Do you want the new career? Do you want to just be able to block him to survive? Do you want your happy ending? What do you want? Because I want to tell you how not to get your happily ever after. How not to get what you want. And I bet it's going to sound really familiar to you. I bet you're familiar with hopscotch healing. Constantly dissecting a relationship, obsessively studying personality disorders, whether it be hopscotching, one day it's YouTube, one day it's a codependency training, one day it's an article on narcissism, one day it's therapy, one day it's this, one day it's that, one day it's this, one day it's that. And you're doing a lot of work, but you're walking in circles or on the little hopscotch board rather than moving forward. And it's keeping you linked and locked to the toxic person. Okay, how not to get what you want. No lack of step-by-step strategy to help you take back your thinking so you can take back your life. There's no step-by-step. There's processing your feelings and feeling your grief and maybe meditation and maybe an affirmation of, you really are worth it. You deserve better, okay? No step-by-step. No wonder you're not getting what you want. Okay, and so how crazy is it to try to get what you want and move forward by being stuck in the past rather than leaning into your present and planning out your future, right? No wonder it's not working. And I want to say, why? Because that's probably what you're asking yourself. I bet you've studied codependency. I bet someone's told you were needy or not willing to stand up for yourself or had low self-worth or trust issues or some type of inner child abandonment bull crap, okay? And maybe those things are true, but are those the things going to move you forward? When I ask you what you want, is studying your inner child abandonment issues or codependency or neediness or whatever going to get you what you want? And I bet your best pieces were used against you, right? I've seen so many amazing women who were totally not in toxic relationships because of confidence issues or neediness or codependency. They were kind, they were loyal, they were giving, they were empathetic, they were steady, they were smart, they were self-sufficient, and they did not understand the rules of the toxic relationship game and did not realize what was happening to them. Then they got so far in, and then it felt mean or bad or irresponsible or whatever else it is to set those boundaries. They were already, I hate to use the word brainwashed, right? But they were already sucked in at that point. They didn't get in because of those things. They ignored things because they were kind. They stayed because they were loyal. They gave because they were giving. And they wanted to still be that. Those are amazing qualities. I have a little girl. If she turns out to be kind, loyal, giving, empathetic, steady, smart, and self-sufficient, I'm going to be pretty dang proud of myself as a mom. We also have to teach people how to become toxic person proof, so your best pieces can't be used against you. Okay? So, so much of this, the self-esteem, the trust issues, the inner child, all that kind of stuff is about your past. If you want an amazing life after a toxic relationship, you've got to get past the past. Get real about the present. No denial. Get real about the present so you can get serious about the future. Those people who got what they wanted did so because they got serious about their future and changed it. Your future needs you. Your past doesn't. So if your healing strategy is all about focusing on your past, you're never going to get what you want. It's never going to happen. Okay? I'm not sure if you've read the book Strengths Finder. It's very popular in companies. It was a bestseller. Look, right there. Wall Street Journal bestseller. High achievers do things differently. They want to work smarter, not harder. And to be able to work smarter, not harder, you have to reconnect with your strengths. You have to know what those strengths are, know how they've been used against you, and make sure that you can hold on to the strengths without holding on to the pain. Okay? High achievers heal differently. They heal smarter, not harder, right? So if it feels so hard, maybe it's because you're a high-achieving woman stuck in the past, trying to talk about codependency, trying to talk about your inner child, and you're like, I want to feel it. I want a future. I want a future. And you can have that future by focusing on your strengths. Strength-based healing. No one wants to hire you or date you based on your weaknesses. You know it's true. That is not the good stuff that has come into your life has not been because of your weaknesses. So why is your entire healing strategy focused either on those weaknesses or focused on dissecting toxic people? It's all about them, not about you. How are you going to get what you want if your life is still about the toxic person? This is not my haughty husband. Don't worry, there's a picture coming later of him. This is Gary Vee, who is a social media strategist for places like Campbell's Soup, and these huge companies. He's built 3 or 4 companies at this point. He grew one of his companies from 30 million to 60 million in 5 years. So he's pretty amazing. And he said something at a round table that we were in. And he said, developing your personal brand is the same thing as living and breathing your resume. Developing your personal brand is the same thing as living and breathing your resume. And on dates or meeting new friends or meeting new people, we don't hand them our resume, but we do hand them our first impression. So in many ways, we do hand them our brand, your personal brand. So let's take a look at your personal brand right now. My guess is this is what you want your personal brand to be. Love, happiness, joy, peace, confidence. And this is probably what you're bringing to the world, right? You want your personal brand to be these wonderful things, yet you're studying codependency, abandonment issues, narcissism, cheating, abuse, sociopaths, your inner child. And here's what you're trying to do. Medicate it away. Numb it away. Maybe even meditate it away. Ruminate on the problem. If I think hard enough about it, maybe the past will change. Exercise it away. Alcohol it away. Or talk and talk and talk and talk and talk about those problems with a therapist. Okay? Think about what you want. Do you want to be engaged? Do you want more money? Do you want to block them? Do you want to say, oh my gosh, I finally got my happy ending? Whoops. That's not the way to do it. The codependency, the abandonment issues, that study, not the way to do it. Here's the way to do it. Step 1, reconnect with what's right with you. Strength-based healing, right? Step 2, become toxic person proof. This first piece is about your relationship with you. The second piece is about healthy relationships with others. And then you've got to design a life you are excited about living. That's your brand. That's your first impression. That's where all the joy is. That's where all the good stuff is. Having a life you are happy to live. Whatever that looks like for you. It may be dating. It may be self-love. It may be career. It may be starting over. It may be, changing your kid's future. It's about knowing what you want, reconnecting what's right with you, becoming toxic person proof so you can design a life you are excited about living. This is from a National Success Summit. There's Tony Robbins. I've been fortunate enough to study with many of his platinum mindset coaches. And I want to say, growth is sexy, healing isn't. I was fortunate enough to be on the floor, with all the cool people on the floor, right? And it would say it's a season of growth, right? These people are growth. They want to be better. They want to change the world. Totally different than I'm trying to heal from narcissism. I have a narcissistic abusive relationship, and my mother would abandon me, and it's toxic, blah, blah. I mean, I'm not saying those things did not happen to you. They did. It really happened. I'm not talking about ignoring it. I'm talking about how to get the life you want. Growth is sexy. What you're attracting in your life, you want it to be sexy, even if it's not about a romantic relationship. You want to have that confidence, that growth. And one of the things probably holding you back is smart girl syndrome. Okay. Smart girl syndrome. If something is wrong, then I can fix it if I work harder. You're failing college algebra. Do you take college algebra? I'm not even sure. It's been a long time. You take college algebra, right? And it's hard, and you study, and you pass. You get an A. You get that gold star. Okay? You practiced piano as a child, and I'm a classical pianist, and so it's like, yeah, I didn't start out with Beethoven. I worked and worked and worked, and then I could sight read Rachmaninoff. Okay? If I work harder, then I can solve the problem. Enter a toxic relationship. It's not going well. I need to work harder. Oh, something keeps being flipped against me. I need to work harder. He's blaming me for stuff. I need to work harder. Oh, they said that I'm not good enough. I need to work harder. And smart girl syndrome keeps you trapped because you're trying to solve problems that do not have solutions. And in the healing journey, if I just know everything there is about narcissism or sociopaths or personality disorders or borderline personality disorder, whatever, if I just study it to death, I'll have the life I want. And it's a trap, and it has served you in so many areas of your life, and it did not serve you in your toxic relationship, and it is not serving you in your healing process. Right? You study this stuff, or do you want to be connecting with this stuff? And I know this message will connect with you because this isn't my first rodeo. This has been connecting with so many women. If you want to check out some of my work in the Elephant Journal, nearly 82,000 people, right? 82,000 people resonating with, oh my gosh, I'm going to attract the right people and the right things, or maybe even I attracted the toxic person because of the things that were right with me, and I stayed because of my optimism, not because I was dumb or codependent. Yes. Now, streamline your healing process that way with that strength-based healing. Reconnect with what's right with you. Become toxic person proof. I presented this way so you could see the foundation, right? Reconnect with what's right with you. Become toxic person proof so you can design that life you're excited about living. So I want to show you something. Free to move on. Thinking about the words free to move on. And where did Aaron say that? A different Aaron. I think I already talked about one Aaron. Eliminate the guilt. The divorce. Freeing to move on. after tremendously affecting you. Knew it was wrong, not normal, confusion. Oh my gosh, right? My program's not religious. Erin happened to be. But she said, God is using you to save my life. God is using you to save my life because after a toxic relationship, you feel trapped. And studying toxic people does not allow you to be free to move on. That's the magic, is your freedom to move on. He's out of your bed, he needs to be out of your head. This is my hottie husband. We got married in Capri, Italy. And I put this picture here because I want you to ask yourself, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 6 months from now, 1 year from now? Is the person you want to be obsessively researching narcissism as their hobby? Is the person you want to be being afraid to take chances? Is the person you want to be willing to invest in anyone and everyone but themselves? Can you see why you need a different brand, a different strategy, a different first impression, a different hobby? Real life talk. I get that what you want, when I keep asking, what do you want? Who do you want to be in the future, right? What you want is for him or her to change or the problem to go away. I get it. I know that's what you want. What you can have: joy, peace, love, connection, wealth, abundance, new opportunities, new situations, freedom. You can have all of that. But you've got to stop expecting the person who broke you to be the one to put you back together. Or stop expecting the person who caused the problem to be the solution in your life, to fix the problem, to fix you. It's not going to happen. What's holding you back? Change. Oh my gosh, fear of change. I'm so used to being miserable, right? And I remember calling the first time calling Tony Robbins' group, and they said, not quite so eloquently, I wrapped it up in this bow, but they said, you have become so good at making the best of things that you've forgotten how to make the most of things. You're so used to settling. You've forgotten how to make the most of your life, and it changed my life forever. And so if you have a fear of change, you shouldn't, because things currently stink. There's things you don't like. Change is the freedom from that. And thinking time heals all wounds is a big fat lie. Why is everyone older not happier than everyone younger? Time doesn't heal all wounds. It is what you do with the time that heals the wounds. Maybe you feel like money's holding you back. But if you spent $100 at a therapist office 100 times once a month for 30 years, it is $156,000 to go see a therapist once a month for 30 years, because you're not solving the problem, you're talking about the problem. So you're going to have to keep talking about it, or you're going to keep attracting toxic people. Maybe you're trying to solve it by overthinking, hoping it goes away on its own. Or maybe you just don't know how to make yourself a priority after your life has been focused on the toxic person for so long. Or maybe it's the toxic talk in your head holding you back, saying things like, why should this time be different? It's not that bad. I mean, I really love being home alone. I really like, settling in my house and having a cat, right? No shame against cats. Maybe you're telling yourself, I can do it on my own. Rather than, if you could have, you already would have, right? If you could have, you already would have. Maybe you're telling yourself happiness is for other people. Maybe you're telling yourself, no healing process is going to work for me. I'm too far gone. It was too far bad. Maybe you're telling yourself, I'll think about it. I'll meditate on it. I'll pray about it. I'll whatever. I'll do anything other than take action to actually solve the problems, right? Do not let that be you. Be your own best problem solver. And figure out what problems have solutions and start moving forward to those so you can have the future you want. That's it. It's simple. And if there's that toxic voice in your head, realize that that toxic voice is winning. Do not let them take everything from you. Do not let them hold you back. Whoever that was, they've already done enough damage. Don't let them have your future too. Your future needs you. Your past doesn't. And the best revenge is a life well lived. And this is literally my Facebook post announcing my my marriage. And the sun was actually my eyes. I'm not really like looking that angry. But it was basically the photographer was obviously, she was like, oh my gosh, this could be a magazine cover. And it was just like, in some ways it was kind of like F you past. F you. Right? I loved it. But I really was happy that day. I don't want you to think that was my impression of my wedding, because I love my husband. It wasn't about, giving it to my past. It was about creating a future, right? And that's what I want for you too. And you've got to become toxic person proof to have that future, right? This person, Sylvia, she noticed it right away. She got the person out of her life immediately. Whoa. I listened to his story once, then twice. He flipped, and it was my fault. And, then she started to defend herself, and then was like, whoa, I'm starting this cycle over. You are not going to find Mr. Right if you keep circling around with Mr. Wrong. You're not going to find the right job if you're circling around on the wrong job. You're not going to find the right friend if you keep circling around the wrong friend. And if you don't understand the game and notice it right away, it's going to be hard to get the future you want, right? You've been trained. I hate to say it. You've been trained to accept bad behavior, right? Look, and she's talking about being a good, kind, loving, giving, and forgiving person who's worthy of so much better, because I say that over and over and over again. I do not call you codependent unless you really are, which, we can work through that too, but it's rarely that. It's women who've had success in every other area of their life. Why should relationships be different? Why? If you are ready to become toxic person proof, design a life you're excited about living after reconnecting with what's right with you, let's talk. But this isn't for people who are just wanting to talk about their problems. This is for people who are serious about solving their problems, who are serious about not letting the past steal the future. Finally telling the toxic voice in their head, no, I've had enough. I want better for me. I'm going to push past the fear and have better for me. Okay? You'll hit this little button. You'll fill out an application. We'll see if we're a good fit for each other. Everybody gets screened that works with me, because I don't want to work with toxic people. Though how many people get on the phone and think they're the toxic person is pretty high. But we'll figure out those pieces that are good, kind, loving, giving, and forgiving, and figure out a plan for you for strength-based healing. Get past the past. Get real about the present. And get serious about the future. Head to sarahkramsey.com/contact if I can help you with your journey and make it a heck of a lot more pleasant, more fun, and faster. Have a great day.